24. And we've got the Panthers, veteran linebacker, who had a strong showing last week with an 8-tackle game. It's the Panthers and the Bears, under the lights on...
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their third-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Justin Fields.
We all knew Fields was an incredible athlete coming out of college, and last season, he unleashed it upon the NFL. Ran for over 1,100 yards and would have broken the quarterback single-season record if he had played the full season. He also threw 17 touchdown passes, and that's the next jump for him. More consistency as a passer.
11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
That's good for the Chicago Bears.
Again, it's Foreman. The numbers on the ground for Foreman in last week's contest. 20 carries, 83 yards.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
Second down and 4. To throw is Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. Now it's Fields off the bootleg. That's to Moore, and he's got it. Touchdown Bears.
A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Bears put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of the team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Now Raheem Blackshear going to take this one out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here the Panthers set to take over for the first time. And Charles will get a look at the much-heralded rookie Bryce Young, the first overall pick from April's draft.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
This 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Ready? Throwing. Young. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra next man up since their Friday night light games in high school. It's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete.
execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Fields on third down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On fourth down, Chicago brings out Trenton Gill. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. 1-7 their record here at the midway point of the season, and right now this organization, more than likely, if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves, but with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So's the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The Panthers had 1-7 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Looking to throw, Young. He'll find Thielen working the middle. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2.
Come on, set.
As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. Had a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Young now. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Young to throw it. Throw left side on target to Thielen. 2nd and 5. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Sanders going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. They'll try to run with Sanders. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop it behind the line. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. So Young will head to the sideline, and on is Pinheiro for the Panther field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Deontay Foreman and his offense back out there. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Second down and 6 now from the 26. Out of the gun, a give to Evans. Through the middle of the field. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago! Darrington Evans, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Santos with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. T.J. Edwards coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here is Young. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, this
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Troy Hill picks it, and the Panthers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Partner, I think this will want to ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Young to throw it. Open man right side is Sharp. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Young working out of the gun. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. They'll throw again. Young. And that is incomplete. Brings up fourth down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. So Young will head to the sideline, and on is Pinheiro for the Panther field goal. He'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Komet.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
And again, back to Komet.
Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Now Fields.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
He'll fire this complete to Hurst down the field. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Young.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
And this is caught. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for two, but this is up and good. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
This taken in at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the...
He's got a man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A gain of 37 yards.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. And I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. Young's throw taken in by Chark. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
It's a second down run with Sanders. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Another run with Sanders. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw on second down is Young. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is third down and 8. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Panthers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They'll run with Sanders. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Miles Sanders, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just already know our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
They run the option on second down. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 30.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy, no matter what.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Camus Cruz-Hill getting in there and taking him down.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Third and long. It's Fields. And that incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Ready?
2nd down, back to Sanders. 62 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Another run here with Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And even with the loss on 1st down, they did a nice job holding on to the football. And they can still run it 2 more times and take some time off the clock and even take some of the timeouts away from the defense and then possibly kick a field goal.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Miles Sanders. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Panthers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 13. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And a good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
That complete. It's Tyler Scott with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Fields. That'll be caught by Foreman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another foot.
There he goes left side. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Deontay Foreman, 28 yards. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the one touch. And got his man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 36 yards on the play. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Here's Sanders. Down at the 35. It'll be second down. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Throwing, Young. That is intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Here's Fields. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now Fields. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here we go. This is 4th down. They snap it to Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And an utter disaster as the ball's going to go over on downs at the 2-yard line. Boy, going for it at this stage in the second half, back in the shadow of your own goalpost. Explanation, please, Mr. Davis.
I'm not sure I'm going to give you a great one, but here's a thought that I had. I wonder if maybe instead of going for it with your offense... And
he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Miles Sanders taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Panthers might be moving closer to an elusive second win of the year as they extend that 4th quarter lead. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So now Fields and the Bears down by 12. 1:07 remaining. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Able to find Komet. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That 1st down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And they will take a knee here.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd